Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody where you are. We are in a different part of the world, and I know you're joining me. And you what do you call it? What do you call the time? The different time zones might just be different. Thank you so much. It's good to be with you, and I do hope you had a very great weekend, and blessed weekend where you not just rested, but also spend time with the Lord. Resting is part of our lives. Rest is something that God has given us that we must not play with. Even God Himself rested on the seventh day. Important. And rest means rest. It means you don't do anything, basically, because your body deserves it, your mind deserves it, all of you deserves it. That way you're going to be able to get your feet back and think about certain things and really get your energy back. You're not a machine. Even machines need to rest. So thank you so much for joining me. Kanye from Brits, thank you for coming over here. Hey, Chief Fine Babe. Hello, Brother Solomon. Hope you had a good weekend. Yes, I had a good weekend. I had to go to church on Sunday alone because my kids woke up with a bit of cold and flu. So my wife had to stay back. I went to church just so I could go to the pharmacy and get some sort of medication and other things for the house. And so, but it was a good weekend. We put up a fireplace in the house and also I keep them warm. And today I actually took them to the doctor about an hour ago. We came back from the doctor and we got some medication. So they're skipping school today. So that was how my weekend went. They probably, hopefully, going to be back in school tomorrow. Thank you, Bongani, from Richards Bay. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you. Said keep up the good work. Appreciate you. Andrew is watching all the way from Los Angeles. We love you and praying for you. Thank you so much. If there's anything I will require of anybody, number one on my list is prayer. For you to pray for me and my family, and importantly for this work that we're doing together. I'm not doing this work alone. No, the fact that you come here to watch, you come here to engage, you can come here to share, to listen. I do not take that for granted at all. You come here, some of you guys come here and you give financially towards the operations of Solomon Temple and the legal fees that Solomon Temples need. You give of your resources. I do not take that. It's not about me alone. Without you, I cannot be here. Thank you, Justin, also from Brits. Excuse me. DJ Kakumba, all the way from Vancouver in Canada. He's saying bonjour. Bonjour, ça va, DJ Bakuba? Thank you so much for coming on. DJ Lucas A. Yeah, you've always been supportive. Thank you from Pretoria. Appreciate you. Nicholas said, why were you not part of yesterday's? It's not Abafundis, I'm a bishop, because it means like all of them were protecting bishop. Hey guys, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go and talk about what happened yesterday. For those of you guys who are in Canada, the US, and all that, you not know about it. But I don't know if I want to go and talk about that, because for me it was clear. Nicholas, you could see what happened yesterday. So you be the judge. Anybody that watched I'm a Bishop yesterday, now you can see what I've been talking about. You see it, right? So I think I've said what I have to say, and I don't know what else to say, but because it's very clear, and that's very important. Thank you. Wow, we got someone from Vienna and Zanzi Queen. Thank you so much. Henrietta, also from Canada. Note to Men from Botswana. M. Shades from Eswatini. That is formerly Swaziland. I love it when we have different people from just different places, even from Deep Kloof in Soweto. Mpo is here. Different people from different parts of the world. My country, Nigeria, never to be left behind. Jacqueline Stevens, say, hey, Solomon, caught you live from Abuja, Nigeria. Good to have you here. It's so amazing. I love like multicultural, racial like setup. Julie from Uganda, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Nelspread is here. Glazo from Limpopo. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Yeah. So I just want to take a bit of time to just talk a little bit about something that is part of the Nigerian culture, right? I don't know if it's just a Nigerian culture. I'm not sure you get that maybe around the Cameroon, Togo, Ghana, some of these West African countries, Sierra Leone, Liberia. I'm not sure if you get that, so that's what I want to talk about. But I'm going to be back with you later at 8 p.m. tonight. I'm going to be, I was sent a few audios that I'm going to play. I will send a few audios that I'm going to play for you that has to do with that Universal Church. So I'm going to have one of the former pastors from Universal Church. And then there are audios of how they manipulate their leaders, young pastors, how they manipulate them, how they strategize and give them ideas on how they would go out and manipulate people to give, which I just like. And you could hear the voice of the Brazilian pastor, obviously, his English with the very strong Portuguese accent. And you're going to hear that. It's sad. Very, very sad. And a lot of other things. So we're not done with the Universal Church yet. Today is not going to be like before, just talking and talking and talking. No, we're going to listen to audios and then we're going to analyze it, right? And just the privilege of technology, now we can get some sort of insight into some of these meetings that are not really godly. We can get proofs of girls recording a pastor who was asking them for certain things he shouldn't have been asking, that kind of thing. I just feel it's so great. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. But if you're Nigerian or West African, you're going to be familiar with scenes like this. You see scenes like this, people spraying money on another person. It could be a wedding, a traditional wedding, a white wedding. It could be a naming ceremony. It could be a birthday. It could be a celebration of somebody who just bought a new house or who just but his business was doing well, or it could be something that an event that you want to thank God for how he has brought you that far, or thank your community. So scenes like this in Nigeria, especially within the Yoruba, in the western part of Nigeria, and the Igbos in the east, is very strong, not just amongst them. I think all of us Nigerians, if you go to even where I come from, right in the middle of Nigeria, in the central part of Nigeria, it is also there. So that culture has spread across the country, and it has become something that over the years you hear and you see people doing it at weddings. There's no way you can go to a wedding and not make sure you have stacked notes of Naira notes, the Nigerian Naira. Or if you want to show that you have class, you can have the dollars, American dollars, or the British pound, So, and I understand it's part of who we are. We love to celebrate and we love to bless, right? That's the positive side of it, I guess. But then the downside of it is we love to show off. We love to create status. And we love to abuse certain things sometimes. I feel that, even with a shot like this is also a wedding. You could see people giving. These are like, dollar notes. You go to Nigeria, you go to certain weddings in Nigeria, we don't use the dollar, is not the official currency for us. But because the Naira is not so strong, there's a lot of dollars around. and you go to a Nigerian wedding, you see people spreading dollars. Why are they doing that? We want to show class, because in Nigeria there's quite a lot of class system. In other in the other African countries also, it might be different in certain places. But we've seen Nigerian music videos where you spray people. We've seen Nigerian movies. For a lot of you guys who are not Nigerians, you've seen Nigerian movies where, you spray money. You spray money on people when there is like a celebration one way or the other and all that kind of thing, which I feel there's a part of it for me that is okay. But then there's a part of it that for me is like, how would God want us to be a blessing? Or when I'm being a blessing, when I'm spraying this money, what is my intention? Because we have to remember that God looks at the heart. God looks at the heart of people. Are you doing that because you're really celebrating with this couple, or you're celebrating with this baby and you're giving just because you feel blessed, you feel blessed with them in this blessing? Or are you doing it because you want to show off? And for over the years, it's always a big question mark for me around that, and also just trying to be careful around it. During my wedding, I actually wish I think maybe you could give me a minute. I'm not sure. No, I don't. I'm not sure that I have I would have actually showed you. I actually totally forgot. I would have actually showed you my own wedding and how we were, they were spraying the South African rand on us. Now, what prompted me to have this conversation is not long ago, there was the same thing, spraying money happening in church. Now, some people might just say it's not a church. It's called CAC, Celestian. No, it's not CAC, Celestial Church, right? In Nigeria, if you're in South Africa, maybe it's an equivalent of maybe like what, ZCC type church, which is very traditional. There's a lot of traditional beliefs in it. And then there is also a lot that is not really out of the Bible straight and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of like candles burning and going to places without shoes and all that kind of stuff, But for a lot of people, that's a church. That's their spiritual home. That's what they do. And one thing within the African culture is, if you see one thing happening in a church, even the Pentecostal charismatic church will look at it and say, wow, that's a good idea. Let's bring it in. Without really asking themselves, why should we bring it in? Would God be okay with us importing this ritual or this culture or this way of doing things into the charismatic Pentecostal, if we claim to be a Bible-believing church? So I'm going to play you a short video of what happened in a Thanksgiving service. So it was a Thanksgiving service at one of the Celestial church in Nigeria. So I want you to watch everything about the video. Don't just watch the money that's going up or the tons of money that was on the floor that people were trying to pick up. Don't just watch the people. Watch the people that are spraying the money, the young men that are spraying the money. Watch the leader of that congregation, and watch and follow the voice or what other people are saying. So here is the short video. Was that enough? Do you want to watch that again? Was that enough? Uh, was that enough? 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 Okay, let me play it for you again one more time, just so you can check it out. Well, there you go again. It's, you know, and I said, I don't have a problem with people spraying money. I mean, that was done at my wedding, and it was actually done. It was started by a South African who had lived in Nigeria, who said, no, this is the way we do things in Nigeria. So bring out your notes and do that. But that's one part. But then there's a other part, which is you do that in a sacred place, in a church, right? Then you have to ask yourself, should we actually bring that to a church? Because remember, from what I know about the history of this, it hasn't been around for long. It's not like it's been around for too long. Maybe what? Maybe 40 years, maybe. Or maybe 50 years, I guess. And the history is not a Christian history, it's not a church history. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong, because it doesn't start in the church or part of a Christian culture doesn't mean it's wrong. No, it's not. It's not supposed to be. There's a lot of things that never started in the church, but it's morally okay and it's biblically okay for us to do. But then if we bring that into a church, it's more like who did that? Was that King Solomon or King David, who allowed certain gods to be brought into the nation of Israel? If you bring that into a church, it's going to be very sensitive. And also you must be careful. What is the intention? That is a Thanksgiving service, right? So let's even break that video down. That's a Thanksgiving service in the church. There you see the leaders standing in front. And then we have these two young boys who are all stuffed with money. This is how the money was going, right? This is how it's spraying it. And then you hear the crowd, the congregation, hey. And then you have these guys that are picking the money and picking it up. Now, first I need to ask myself, those two young boys that are doing that, who are they? Who are they? What are they doing? What have they been up to? It's easy when you're in Nigeria that way. They will just tell you, those two young boys who were spraying that money, they are Yahoo boys. Some of you guys know Yahoo boys. Some of you guys know 419. So, all these guys that do crime online, digitally, sending emails and all that, and saying their dad, uncle died and left them this kind of money. And if you do that, or just telling you they love you and all that, and they manipulate you, there's quite a lot of them. And if you have a Thanksgiving like that and you're giving money that way in a church where where your heart intention is not right, you want to show that you want to show that you're holy. For some people, that's the way for them to show that they love God. For some people, it's a way to show the church that they are actually doing well. They're established. They have money. If I was a leader of a church, if you want to give that way in a Thanksgiving setup, would I allow it? I don't think I would allow it. I would ask you to just bring the money and just put it there in a bag, or put it there or wherever. But to spray it that way, to take about 5, 7, 10 minutes, throwing money all around in the church, where you have a lot of people that a little of that money could change their lives. But now I feel you're celebrating mammon. We need to learn to be humble and modest as Christians. If you go to a wedding and do that, it's fine. It's a wedding. But you see, a church is a place where you set examples for how we can live outside. If you go to somebody's birthday, if you go to here, you there, you can do that. It's fine, you know. And it's fine when you go to do that. But when you now insist, when you now bring that to a church and it becomes like a celebration, a church, you would see some churches would now adopt that as a way of fundraising. Because there are people in church who have money, maybe they got it the right way or the wrong way, but they don't just want to give in secret or just put it in the offering bag or write a check or make a transfer. They want everybody to see them. So now the pastor realized, no, I'm going to give them the opportunity for everybody to see them. That way they're going to give so much money. That way they're going to spray and give money and all that. No. God cares about our hearts. You are what you are thinking. You are what your intentions are. For me, this video is a typical state of people sort of like worshiping money. That's how I see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too sensitive to not allowing the presence of the Holy Spirit to be overtaken by just certain rituals of giving money and all that kind of stuff, and how we give money and showing off. And trust me, Nigerians know how to show off. We can show off everywhere, it's fine. But you see, when you come to church, it's the last place and it's the wrong place for us to try to show up, because in church, everyone should be equal. Everyone should try to support each other. Everyone should try to see each other. There should be fairness. You shouldn't even know the difference between those who have and those who do not have. That's the church. That's the New Testament church in the book of Acts. That's the church. So we must be careful when we allow some of the culture that we have, the popular culture in our community, in our society, in our nations, to creep into the church, or when we see it in the church creeping in, brought in by pastors or just people. What should we do? What should we say about it? That is very important. That is very important. You know, I'm reading some of the comments here. Tina here saying this is a typical example of idol worshiping. Yeah, it could be that. Because money has the power to make you want to worship money. I say that again. Money has the power to make you want to worship money, and you will not know. Anybody who sees they're working hard and their health is failing and they're not taking care of their health and they're not taking care of their family, they're not spending time with their family because they want to make money, they are worshiping money. Money has become an idol. I'm not saying do not work hard, but even the Bible says you must rest. Zamzi Queen says, no servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he would hold one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. Lillian is saying, watching from midstream, man of God, that's shocking. Indeed, you can't serve God and mammon. Zamzi Queen here also said, that culture influences crime because people want to boast and intimidate those who do not have. And if I don't have, if I'm a young person, I'm kind of like easily influenced. I begin to look for anything and everything to get money. Deborah said, this all in the name of recognition. That's correct. That's correct. You go to some churches, you see some of the people that have money, there are certain seats that they sit in. Have you noticed? You know, or there are certain privileges they get just because they have money. Some of them even get ordained as pastors Not because they should be pastors, not because they're called, but just because they have money. And I see a comment here. Oh, Janet, Naomi, good to have you here again. Kanye is making a very strong and good point here. She said, I would rather have that money be invested in helping the poor in the church and not showing off like they're doing. Indeed. And then you ask yourself, what is that money that they sprayed in the church going to be used for anyway? What is it going to be used for? How will it be used? Chief Fine Babe said, Brother Solomon, my mom is 89 and she was sprayed cowries, which was considered money during her pagan wedding with my father. Both later converted. Hallelujah. So the whole thing about spraying actually didn't only start when the naira or when the paper note. You remember Africans, anywhere you are from Africa, we used to don't have paper notes. We used to have deal with cowries and different ways, currencies that we have that was very localized. This paper note was brought in by the colonizers who came into Africa. Good or bad? Well, we decide that one, Lucy here said King Nebuchadnezzar, the King Nebuchadnezzar. That's what we see. So Fine Girl here said, I like it when it is done in weddings, child naming ceremony, and Thanksgiving outside the church. Indeed, when you do it outside the church, we see when you do it in church is, again, for me, is supposed to be the place where examples are set. That's where you get examples being set. Naomi Jung here say, in Christ Embassy, the best givers get awards once a year. Oh my God. Best givers. Oh my God. So we even get to know who gave more. How did we get here? That is discrimination. Discrimination in the church. You give me an award. I'm not saying don't thank the person. No, I'm not saying that. Zamzi Queen here is saying, most of the time you find that the money came from evil source, blood money. Yeah, you never know these things. Tembi here is saying, I like that these topics is show off. The majority is boast and hide with Babel. That's what it is. She fine babe here saying, it is oppression of the poor. Church is the only place where people, especially the poor, seek solace. But you're oppressing, you're intimidating other people. You're intimidating them. Anya Satu here is saying, yeah, money spraying should be left for weddings. As a true man of God, money spraying is something that shouldn't be allowed. Thank God these things don't happen in my church. Indeed. Indeed. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. Please, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would appreciate that you subscribe to my YouTube channel right away. Follow Solomon's Temple. Thank you, guys. We're about to hit the 40,000 YouTube subscribers soon, and I really thank God for it. I'm not even a year on YouTube yet. I'm only going to be a year, I think, in July. But it's just been a blessing. It has been a blessing to share, to encourage people, and for me to get encouragement also. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also make sure you watch other videos that are there. And I'll be back tonight, a special interview where we're going to be playing some audios from Universal Church, where the main pastor, main bishop, right, that is, he's having a program session with the pastors, and he was actually telling them how they can manipulate their church, their members, to give, how to do it, and how to execute it. And we're going to play that later on, and then we discuss that with one of the former pastors from there. So thank you so much. I appreciate every one of you. May God bless you, keep you, and may you continue to be people that you don't need to give publicly. You can give privately and help the poor and help others who are in need. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll catch you later at 8 p.m.